I've been kind of making these videos. I don't know. It's been kind of helping this frustration with matches and matchmaking and just trying to think through why I'm doing what I'm doing and how and oh, let's win more games and whatever. But honestly, guys, this match kind of broke my spirit. Recently, yeah, I've seen a lot of complaints about matchmaking, and I'm like, oh, like this game's supposed to be fun. Like, what, we don't need to treat it like this. This should all be enjoyable. If it's not fun, like, why are we doing this? Whatever, whatever. But I get this match, and it's just like, what do you do, man? What do you do? Um, I actually this Picardi beside me had in my previous match where he was like literally allergic to caps. I noticed this triple division is like some a Wasa dude and TT. I was actually curious what the TT stood for. And I didn't notice when I was looking at the teams just to see what the ships are and whatever that you may notice there's celebrity on the other team. And just as this match unfolds, I'm kind of banging my head against a wall. Just like, how? It really feels like somehow I accidentally signed up for hard mode. Um, I know I'm not the only one, and I've kind of talked myself out of it multiple times over the past several years. I see on different forums and social media and you know content creators and whatever that like everybody has games like this. But my word, like sometimes it just really feels like this game is out to get me. And so I don't know, you know, gosh. I'm gonna really try to remind myself that like my point about, both teams can feel like they're stacked. So as I'm playing this, like very specifically, I see that like the red team that I'm matched against in this part, like this is not the A team of the red team. We've got a Bagration that's just sailing, straight in, and it's like, oh, like I'm getting shot. Let's go broadside. We'll see the red battleships are making, maybe not the best shots. I did totally call that they were gonna shoot at me, so I'm like, yeah, slow down, doing the normal cruiser thing. Um, we've got a Bismarck that is just like sending it through to three ships, but the Bagration goes down. The Musashi is running away, and then the Iowa runs away as well. So yeah, I will remind myself, and maybe anyone else that wants to listen, that like as frustrating as this game might seem at the end, like okay, realistically, maybe the teams were a little more even than they felt. Um, Oof, there goes our destroyer. So we're just kind of farming down these things, but in an effort to not just whinge and whine and moan this whole time, I will comment on this ship. This thing was really kind of, yeah, not hated on, but just like, oh, Plymouth at home, like, what is this thing, blah, blah, blah. I love this ship. I haven't played it a ton just because there's, with the update and, like, there's just been a lot going on, lots of different ships to play. This ship is a lot of fun. I find it way more enjoyable than the Plymouth. Plymouth, tier 10 to tier 7, whatever, like, yes, it's a very good ship. I just specifically find the Pojarski is just flat out more fun. Like, the faster shells, the flatter arcs, I believe it does have better penetration at range. At the very least, it has flatter arcs. So like if you're aiming at upper belt and stuff, they're going in at a flatter angle, so they're going to kind of maintain the penetration that you expect against those kind of upright targets. Just because the shell angle at impact is a little flatter. And I love this thing. Like for whatever reason, me and the Plymouth have just never quite clicked. The Pojarski is just a lot more fun. It just really is. It just feels like it does what I expect it to do, and the damage output on obliging targets like a broadside Iowa, you really get in there. The shells aren't quite as good against destroyers. You know, it has kind of that like hybrid. I think it is Soviet fuse shells, that they're not quite the British short fuse, but they're certainly a shorter fuse than most shells, and so you can definitely get full pins on destroyers, and you can really chew them up quite quickly. Not certainly not as much as the Plymouth, but yeah, definitely valid. Yeah, so kind of angle a little bit against the Ayer salvo. I definitely could have eaten that and gone down, but you know, I'm trying to intentionally dodge unpredictably against these guys, just because seeing that they are in, at least one of them is in a fleet that is known. You know, I assume he's probably predicting kind of more likely dodging, so I'm actually intentionally trying to do not necessarily like the, oh, slow down and angle out, predictable cruiser move there. As I try to smoke up, get into the cap, we can at least get this cap, as this Musashi has continued to run away from Picardy and Bismarck. This flank was honestly a little bit comical to me, just watching it unfold. As I try to get the cap, get some shots onto these ships in the middle cap. You know, on this map, I can't even really see what's going on over at sea. Our ships are doing something, their ships are doing something. Honestly, I have no idea. As I wait for my rear turrets to try to finish the traverse around to get on target on the Musashi, I'm actually splitting my attention and shooting this Ayer. I actually let him rotate a little bit too far, and then I also noticed that my target tracker is pointing, is this north, right here. I see torpedoes going in on Picardy, so we know this is the Smollin. There he is on radar. I guess he just tries to reset me here. I don't know if he gets cheeky because, you know, how the rest of this match has gone, but I know he just launched his torpedoes at the Picardy. He doesn't have torpedoes, so I'm not 100% sure what his plan was here. He may have really high detectability, and he figured I was going to back into him anyway, just depending on his build, so not sure about that one. I think he probably had Smollin with radar. Like, that's generally a decent choice. He's in a division, a well-balanced division with other presumably good players, so I'm not 100% sure what the plan was there. Apart from just like, oh, he's going to reset me. I don't know that that was worth sacrificing himself, because he could have pretty easily actually spotted me with smoke detection while I'm trying to shoot this Musashi. The Musashi could have had free shots of me, so I take him down, trying to finish off the Musashi. You know, we've seen this guy, both the Musashi can be a little bit unpredictable. We've also seen him not hit all the shots, so I would love for him to shoot again. That would be my ideal circumstance. But as it is, I'm trying to change position, back up, and kind of surprise him with my position, presuming that he is aiming where I was, and if I can get a good salvo off, I might even be able to finish him before he gets a shot off. He does get the shot off, he's on top, and my get 4 shatters, woof, but he shoots low. Short shells. I don't really think that's a thing. I think there are a lot of other reasons to explain it, but man, sometimes it does feel like it. So he aims low there. I don't know if he expected me to turn in, or if it was just aim, just random variation on his grouping, like whatever it was. Shells all in low, and I'm in luck. So I'm trying to peek around here. I notice I can get the shot. I'm not viewed. If I really need to get some health off this thing. Based on the ships that are remaining, full health Delaware is going to be a major pain for me to deal with, especially if we don't have anyone else in my team distracting it. So yeah, so I'm getting some shots in. That big flight deck on the American hybrid battleships, that certainly is a great place to shoot at with smaller caliber guns. Even larger calibers, it's just big enough, like you can definitely get damage on it. Yeah, just trying to get some damage. I see it's funny, I noticed the flag on the ship, and I'm like, okay, well that's the D7P. See the Ayer coming up a little bit here. I got a little tunnel vision. I was trying to back around the corner to make sure he didn't spot me, and I went too far here. If I'd stayed a little farther forward, I probably could have gotten some more shots off. Would that have changed the outcome of this match? I don't think so. Based on how the rest of it goes, I don't think that there was space for that, you know, a couple extra salvos to finish it. But honestly, maybe so. You know, maybe just being realistic with myself, trying to be honest on mistakes that I might make. If I had stayed in firing position in that gap, I probably could have gotten 2 additional salvos off on the egg gear, maybe, depending on the exact geometry. And if they were good ones, you can hit approaching 10,000 damage per salvo with this ship, and he was broadside and close enough that I think I would have gotten penetrations. That might have saved this blue Pojarski, and then maybe we just have enough health to help to finish this off. So I don't know, maybe that was my fatal error in this match, that we could have gotten that a year off, saved some. This is a second or third video that I've said that. That's wildly inappropriate. I promise I'm not trying to get that cruiser off as much as I enjoy it. But anyway, finish him. I guess whatever. Finish him off and save this Pojarski that's southeast of us. Seen a little bit. He really doesn't have much health, so I don't know. I don't know. Realistically, I don't know if that was a thing. Right here, we're in kind of a bad position just because they have 2 battleships. We have 3 cruisers. I have 1 smoke left. I'm really trying to get in a position where I can smoke, distract this Delaware from farming down I believe it's a Takahashi over there to my north, and finish him off. But then kind of as I do, you see, I realize right here, like, oh, that's PG Rapids. I know that guy. This is going well. He's in a position to spot the Takahashi. So now he's stuck. He's kind of just getting farmed down by him. I wish I had done something different here. If I had been, Rapids did a good job being far enough away that I'm actually out of range. This is one instance where Kutuzov as a commander instead of Lip would have been nice. So I can't get shots on him. I'm trying to back up. The other Pojarski doesn't have vision on the Delaware. I don't know if he's behind the island or if the Delaware just backed up far enough. This is a wasted smoke. So this is another instance where going in, I had a plan that I think was reasonable, but it obviously doesn't work. PG Rapids coming around the corner like that, that's the way he was headed when we last saw him. So it's totally reasonable for him. The D7P has great concealment. Here I am just saying, like, man, this is not how I want this to go. So anyway, I probably could have predicted that he was going to go that way. So again, just trying to be honest with myself about how this match could have gone better. I probably should have stayed at this flank and waited for him to come, or at least waited to see if he was coming. We have enough time. Part of the reason that I was worried is, like, we're way down on points. They are, we were even on ships, but generally better health and better matchups for what we have left. So we kind of need to make something happen, but I probably got a little too impatient to try to get that Delaware, and I think I did have time to wait to see if the D7P came around the corner or not, and then possibly push around the north side of these islands. If the Takahashi is going to stay in the middle, I could have pushed around to have a flank on the Delaware if the other Pojarski had stayed up there. One other point is, like, that's a huge advantage that divisions have. These 2 ships, I don't know that they were playing particularly well or particularly poorly, but any amount of communication in that setup and just having us be able to coordinate would have gone a long way towards being able to win this match. I actually think this match was winnable at that point. If we could kind of coordinate and say, hey, you go here, I'll go here, like, we'll do this together, we had a better chance. And you can see the D7P is actually reasonably low on health, so if I had been in a position, all three of our ships have been in a better position to work together, we would have had a better chance to pull out a victory here. Again, if my turrets were on the other side, I can fight that guy, but this match is over. I'm honestly just trying to get the Kraken at this point. This is literally what I was hoping for, that this Vanguard that we last saw at sea with low health was pushing around, that I might be able to finish him before they finish me. I noticed earlier that he was shooting AGs, so I think I'm relatively safe from him. Hope the Delaware doesn't finish me, and just get this guy's superstructure. And I'm like, no, come on, don't hit me! Just go down, and the last shell gets it, and then I go down. So yeah, this match, so frustrating. Talking back through it, I see at least those 2 spots. I might have done better, but what are you going to do? Added on screenshots of the end game. Man, what is that? Third place in the whole game on the losing team.